Hello, beautiful people. This is Tuesday, and I am bringing you a layout for scrapbookingstore.com. And I did prime this background paper with some gesso, and this adorable kit is basically a vintage school kit, kind of the younger years, and using some of the older iconic vintage 1950s style images. And so I thought it would be fun to take a picture or several pictures of my daughter from elementary school through her senior year and do a layout related to that. And that's exactly what I did. And it worked out beautifully. I really like the final product. So I took some of the little shimmers. They're like powders, and they're by Dr. Phil's. Now, they're not my favorite. Dr. Phil. No. Dr. Phil. No, Phil Martin. I'm thinking of the TV show. Pardon me. It's late. I have been training people for about 10 hours today, and I'm just now getting around to editing this video, and I always get a little loopy at night when I've been up since the crack of dawn and training. So finally got some food in me, so at least I have that. But no, gosh, I was gonna do it again. No. Phil Martin's shimmers, and I used a beautiful yellow and a blue and a green. Now, I've got to be honest with you. These little powdery products are not my favorite. I really like spritz and sprays and pastes, and I don't know. I even like shimmers, creamies, and stuff. I enjoy, but when it comes to a powder, it doesn't seem to want to mix the way that I like, and so I'm always kind of frustrated with the finished product. It looks like it's not completely 100% mixed, and I don't know, it just bothers me. I got these at a stamp convention that I worked, and they were freebies. The woman that I helped in her booth gave them to me, and she made it look easy, but I don't know, I'm just not really into powders. I did buy a bunch of powders years ago from Lindsay Stamp Gang, and I haven't even dove into those, and maybe I should play with those and see if they're different. So I ended up going back to my sprays, which I love and adore, and they are shimmers in No Yoking and Hermit the Frog and Blue Jeans, and I just really enjoy using those better. So it ends up getting covered up for the most part, as most mixed media does, but and it kind of it almost looks a little bit leopard or cheetah print to me, the way these colors played off of each other. But as it dries, it's not as noticeable. Plus, when you align the photos, it really doesn't matter. It covers it. Now, I wanted these pictures to go in succession of age, but unfortunately, the shape of the photos just were not convenient for that kind of process. So I end up putting, well, actually 2011 is her sophomore year. I guess it wasn't her senior year, but the one in the middle is her sophomore year. The one on the far left is 2009. So a little bit of math here. She would have been that's got to be 2003. I don't know. I'm off on my years. One is elementary school. The one on the far right is middle school, and then the one in the center is high school. So let's leave it at that. That makes it easy. I did back it with some of this lovely paper from the kit that we got. This is the September kit, and a lot of it was from Authentic Scholastic. And I had some scraps left, and I backed the photos, and that one photo to the far left is actually on plastic, and I thought about using one of the 3x4 cut-aparts for the back of it, but I don't go with that. I end up using the paper on the paper side, so, or the design side, not the cut apart. So as you can see, they're kind of small photos, and it worked out perfect because I just wanted to do a layout where it went across the page to highlight the different ages. And I had already kind of pulled the elements that I wanted from the sticker sheet from Authentique, and some of the chipboard that I had from the kit, from the September kit, and I kind of interviewed where I was going to lay some of this stuff out. Now, when you stick stickers to wax paper or thickers or anything else to wax paper, it has a tendency to pull up the wax, and it's not as sticky as it was originally. So I encourage you, if you do that, don't leave it on the wax paper very long, because it will not come up and it will pull the wax paper with it, and you're still going to have to glue it down more than likely. So just a little tip there. As you can see, I did pull from that chipboard the green locker. Fortunately, the green locker worked out perfect because my daughter's high school, and even the elementary, well, the elementary school was green, the middle school was blue, and the high school was green. So these colors in this kit worked out perfect for that. I did fussy cut out this yellow bus from the cut apart sheet because it was so stinking adorable. I could not resist. Also, the globe I fussy cut out from the cut aparts. And then I tried to make another piece of chipboard fit. I can't remember if I actually fit that in or not. And then this little apple and this little chemistry flask was also in the kit. And this is just the main kit. I'm not even, there's no add-ons to this. Now those, the little apple that's so cute and the little chemistry flask they were on clips. And I don't do bulky items. I mean, I do chipboard and things like that, and I like texture, but I just decided to pull those off the clips and use them as elements, just as flat elements. And they do have a little bit of dimension, but not much. The school books were also fussy cut out from the cut aparts, and I believe I add a little bit of thread, but I don't have the layout in front of me, so I may be wrong on that. And all of the, oh, I do. So here we go. So I'm going to add some different colors, of thread. Maybe that one was too, it wasn't working. I decided to go with a little less thread. Sometimes I do that. I find that less thread is better for me. I know that others get really heavy-handed with the thread, but I just like it to be very subtle. And so that was probably what I did here. Is I had too much, so I wanted to scale it back. The wood veneer is all from my stash. I couldn't even tell you where it all came from. I just have it all in a big box now. And I did want to use some more of these stickers just for their color, just to add some color behind the photos. And you don't have to use a sticker if it says something you don't like. You can just use it as trim or to back your photo, just as I've done here. And I did that on the center photo and also on the one to the right. I really like the little wood veneer here that I pull from my stash that says Easy A, because she was pretty much an A student, and she's in nursing school now, and this is her 3rd year, and she is still an A student. And it reminds me of myself, because I was always like adamant about making A's. Not that my parents ever really cared, but I just had to prove to myself that I could make straight A's. I don't know. I really loved school. I love learning in general. I still am learning. I'm working on my nutritional certification as we speak. And so hopefully that will be another certification under my belt to go with my other degrees and certs. So the Admit one, also in green, which is perfect, is from the chipboard, and that was from Bo Bunny. And that was in the main kit. And then the Star Student was, the label is from the cut aparts. and she is very much a star student, so that worked out perfectly for this layout, and that will be the title for the layout. And I had these little scissors in my wood veneer, and I know they're for art or for scrapbooking or whatever, but I thought they would go well on this layout, and I haven't used any of those in so many years. So this collection really inspired me to dig into some of my older product and find a new life for it, which we can always do. One thing I've always said about these kits is the great value, and you really don't have to add much. Maybe a different piece of background paper, maybe a little mixed media, maybe a little wood veneer, something like that, but it's very minimal. I can get a ton of layouts out of this one kit, so I really enjoy working with these, and I'm going to have a October kit share for you on October 1st. So make sure you stay tuned for that on my channel. This will be the last of the September kit layouts that I make. So I'm still looking for a place. I really wanted to use that banner because it's green and it almost looks like Hogwarts or something of that nature, but I didn't end up using it. I don't think I made it to the page, or if it did, I don't remember. And like I said, I don't have it in front of me. But here I am again using a little bit of those stickers just for some trim around the photo. And I think it ties in nicely with those stacks of books. And then a couple of little small elements from the sticker sheet just to make sure that everything ties in as color goes. I love those little teeny tiny hearts. And I'm going to add some little arrows off that sticker sheet as well, pointing towards her picture to kind of draw the eye towards her. And I believe I do something on the bottom, if I'm not. It looks kind of empty on the bottom, so I think I continue on and I build something on the bottom. I think. I don't know. I do love the little flags. The flags were in the main kit, and I think they look beautiful on the page, and of course that's very school spirit to me. And gesso, like I've said millions of times, if you use gesso, glue your embellishments and stickers down, because they're going to fall off, people. They are really going to fall off, so you don't want that to happen. And I've just weighed it down a little bit with one of my Nuvo because it was kind of dimensional and didn't want to stick down. It's got that little flag toothpick that's kind of holding it up, so I wanted to make sure it stuck. I would much rather have things over glued down so I don't have to fix them later. Oh, I see what I was thinking of making a title there. I don't make a title there. I end up getting some of these scraps. I knew I was going to build something at the bottom because it was just too empty there. So yes, I do take some scraps. I'm going to end up trimming those down just a little bit more than how they appear. Because I wanted them a little bit thinner. But anytime you have like little bits and bobs and scraps left over, I mean, it's perfect to make little borders or edges. And I really like how that looks. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit because it's a little too tall for me. But other than that, I really like how this adds to the layout as far as it not having a blank bottom and it having more of the same colors pulled in from the color palette. And I think this is where I'm deciding, you know what, that bottom piece is just, it's too thick. I'm going to have to trim that down. I'm starting to lose my voice. Oh my gosh. It takes nothing for me to lose my voice. You should hear me in the gym. It's ridiculous. I cannot talk loud enough for people to hear me with all the noisy clanking and weights and things like it's insane. So I'm always straining my voice, but I apologize that it's going out right now. And here I'm just going to ruffle those up I may even sew those down. I may take the sewing machine to it. At least that's what I'm thinking I do here. But I really do ruffle it up so that it looks a little bit jagged. And I am finishing up with another piece of wood veneer for my stash and another sticker from the sticker sheet, not sticker set, from Authentique, and one more of those banners. Now here I dug into my stash with some really, really old Heidi Grace enamel dots, and they're pretty translucent, so I think they add a very subtle touch around the layout. I'm just going to secure things down a little bit more with glue, because you know you can't ever have too much glue when you use mixed media, and I usually gesso the entire background before I start doing my ink or my watercolors, because I can't stand it when there's a spot that's not gessoed and it looks so vastly different than the rest of the layout. So little teeny tiny sprinkles of the Shimmers product I used before, and I think that will finish the layout. I really enjoyed how this turned out. I think it does the collection justice and does my photos justice. So, and I had not thought, until I got this kit, I really had not thought of doing a layout like this that highlights the different ages of elementary and middle and high school. So I loved it. I love doing it. I love that it made me think to do it. And I hope it inspires you to do a similar layout about your kids or your grandkids or yourself. I mean, I did one about my brother and I really enjoyed it as well from this kit. So make it your own. And I'll have another layout for you very soon. Look for that video on October 1st for the new October kit. And I think they periodically post some of my layouts on their Instagram page, which is basically scrapbookingstore.com maybe, or maybe it's _com. I don't know. Just look up scrapbookingstore.com and it should come up. But that's it for now. I'll have information in the description bar below. Ta-ta for now.